Hey, it's Simo here. Now, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Most plant-based treats taste like crap. Now, while there are obvious health, body, and planet reasons for eating plant-based, it's not always that easy and not that much fun when it's really hard to find great tasting plant-based treats that are actually enjoyable and actually feel good in my body as well. However, plant-based and taste do not need to be contradicting. Real foods combine great taste and a great feeling for my body, and I really want to eat treats that feel as good as they taste. Now, one of the problems that's really keeping me from doing that in my everyday life is that I found that many plant-based treats are trying to imitate something they're not. Instead of being true to their essence and the real ingredients, they add fillers, texture modifiers, weird food processing tricks, as well as artificial ingredients, artificial sweeteners and whatnot. And they're doing this in an attempt to use cheap and fake ingredients in being something that they're not. And this frankly comes at the expense of the real taste and also costs me much of the enjoyment. One of the big problems is added coatings. Many foods add coatings because they look better in photos, and the manufacturers assume that people want their stuff and their treats dipped in chocolate or yogurt or whatnot, even when it's not really made of the real stuff and doesn't taste that great either. Usually these coatings are full of artificial nasties and don't really taste that great. They're added because manufacturers expect that people want everything to taste like chocolate or yogurt or whatnot. But these junk-filled fake chocolate coatings are often suspect, and they're made in ways I don't really enjoy, and I usually just avoid them. Even though these bars and treats dipped in so-called chocolate may look better in photos, I often end up paying the price with my taste buds and in how my body feels afterwards. Now, here are a couple of tips that I've found that have worked for me in choosing better plant-based treats that don't sacrifice health or flavor but maximize both. Firstly, I try to find products that look like real foods and list their origin. This way, I can be certain that the ingredients within are top-notch, and usually this means that the manufacturer hasn't had to hide worse ingredients and mask them into tasting something they're not, which I'm not really a big fan of. Secondly, I try to avoid treats that have gone through weird texture processing or include artificial flavors or artificial bits that have been added into products like fake chocolate chips that you'll sometimes find listed in the ingredients. Thirdly, some ingredients make up much of plant-based treats, such as dates. They can be a really tasty ingredient, but sometimes they end up making up too much of the whole treat or the whole product. And number 4, I try to avoid artificial coatings in plant-based treats. They're often chocolate, they're often yogurt, they're often some type of berry coating, usually filled with artificial stuff. Don't taste that great, don't feel that great. I usually go right ahead and avoid those. I found that these tips have worked for me in selecting better tasting and better feeling plant-based treats, including real dried fruits, nuts, chocolates, and all the goodness that's made of the real stuff.